Hey there, welcome to today's episode, where we're diving into something we've all felt at some point: the fear of failure. It's that gut-twisting, heart-pounding moment when you're about to take a leap. Maybe starting a new project, asking for a raise, or even trying a new hobby, and your brain screams, "What if you crash and burn?" You've been there, right? Today we're unpacking why we're so afraid to fail, what's going on in our heads, and how to embrace failure as a friend, not an enemy. Let's kick things off with the big question. Why are we so scared of failing? It's not just about looking silly or losing time. It runs deeper. Your brain's got a built-in alarm system called the amygdala, the part that's like, danger. Avoid embarrassment at all costs. Back when humans were dodging predators, this was super handy. Failing to outrun a lion? Bad news. Today, failing a presentation or bombing a date doesn't threaten your survival, but your amygdala didn't get the memo. It still treats failure like a life-or-death situation, flooding you with stress hormones like cortisol. That's why your palms sweat just thinking about pitching an idea to your boss. There's also a psychological angle. Ever heard of loss aversion? It's a concept from behavioral economics. Fancy, I know. That says we feel the pain of losing twice as much as the joy of winning. So, the idea of failing at something, like not getting that promotion, hits harder than the potential thrill of succeeding. Your brain's basically like, why risk it? Let's stay safe and binge watch something instead. Thanks, brain, real helpful. Then there's society. We live in a world obsessed with success. Social media's full of #winning posts. People flaunting their new jobs, perfect vacations, or flawless smoothies. Failure? Not so much. It's like we're all supposed to be flawless robots. This creates what psychologists call social evaluative threat. The fear of being judged. You're not just worried about failing, you're worried about what others will think. Will your coworkers whisper? Will your mom give you that, "I'm not mad, just disappointed" look? It's enough to make anyone freeze. Let's add one more layer: mindset. Carol Dweck's research on growth versus fixed mindsets is a game changer here. If you have a fixed mindset, thinking your abilities are set in stone, failure feels like proof you're not good enough. But with a growth mindset, failure's just a pit stop on the road to getting better. The catch? Most of us lean toward fixed mindset thinking when we're scared, especially if we grew up hearing "you're so smart" instead of "you worked hard." It's like your brain's got a default setting that says, don't try unless you're sure you'll nail it. Okay, so we know why fear of failure is a thing. But how do we deal with it? Spoiler: it's not about pretending you're fearless. It's about making failure less scary and even, dare I say, useful. Let's break it down with some practical, science-backed strategies, plus a little humor to keep it real. Step 1. Reframe failure as feedback. Failure isn't a dead end, it's data. Thomas Edison didn't fail 10,000 times making the light bulb. He found 10,000 ways that didn't work. Sounds cheesy, but it's true. A study in the Journal of Experimental Psychology found that people who view setbacks as learning opportunities are more likely to try again. So bomb that presentation. Instead of "I'm terrible," think, "Okay, I need to practice my pacing." Write down one thing you learned from your last failure. It's like turning a faceplant into a lesson plan. Step 2. Start small to build courage. Big risks are scary, so start with low-stakes ones. Want to pitch a bold idea at work? Practice by sharing a small suggestion in a meeting first. It's like dipping your toes in the failure pool before diving in. This builds what psychologists call self-efficacy, your belief in your ability to succeed. Each small win tells your brain, "Hey, I can handle this." Plus, if you mess up, it's just a tiny blip, not a catastrophe. Baby steps, not bungee jumps. Step 3. Visualize success and failure. Visualization isn't just about picturing yourself nailing it. Try imagining the worst-case scenario too. Sounds counterintuitive, but it works. A technique called defensive pessimism helps you plan for what could go wrong. Thinking about asking someone out? Imagine them saying no, then realize it's not the end of the world. You'll just try again or find someone else. A study from NYU showed this reduces anxiety by making failure feel less like a monster under the bed. Step 4. Embrace imperfection. Perfectionism is failure's best friend. It whispers, "If it's not flawless, don't bother." Newsflash: nothing's flawless. There's a Japanese concept called wabi-sabi, finding beauty in imperfection. Your first YouTube video might be shaky, your first cake might look like a science experiment, and that's okay. Aim for good enough. Research by psychologist Thomas Curran shows perfectionism is linked to higher stress and lower productivity. So, give yourself permission to be a glorious work in progress. Step 5. Build a failure-friendly environment. Surround yourself with people who cheer your efforts, not just your wins. Share your goals with a friend who'll say, "Hey, you tried, that's awesome," instead of judging. A study from the American Psychological Association found social support boosts resilience after setbacks. Also, curate your media diet. Unfollow accounts that make you feel like you need to be perfect. Your brain doesn't need to see another, "I woke up like this" post. Step 6. Practice self-compassion. When you fail, your inner critic loves to go wild. "You're a loser," it says. Shut it down with self-compassion. Dr. Kristen Neff's research shows treating yourself kindly, like you treat a friend, reduces fear of failure. Try this. Write a letter to yourself about a recent setback as if you're comforting a buddy. Feels weird at first, but it's like giving your brain a hug. And who doesn't need a hug after a faceplant? Step 7. Set failure-tolerant goals. Instead of, "I'll never mess up," aim for, "I'll try 3 new things this month." This shifts the focus from perfection to experimentation. A study in motivation and emotion found that process-oriented goals, focusing on effort, reduce fear compared to outcome-oriented ones, focusing on results. So instead of, "I'll get an A," try, "I'll study 30 minutes daily." It's less pressure, more progress. Step 8. Celebrate effort, not just wins. Your brain needs to know trying is worth it. Did you submit a proposal even if it got rejected? Do a little victory dance. Took a risk and it didn't pan out? Treat yourself to ice cream. Positive reinforcement, as shown in behavioral studies, makes you more likely to try again. It's like training a puppy. Reward the behavior you want more of. Step 9. Learn from failure stories. Everyone fails, even the greats. J.K. Rowling was rejected by 12 publishers before Harry Potter. Steve Jobs was fired from Apple before coming back to revolutionize it. These stories remind us failure's not the end, it's a plot twist. Keep a failure inspiration list. Write down stories that motivate you. It's like a mental shield against giving up. Step 10. Take action despite fear. Here's the truth. Fear of failure never fully goes away. The trick is acting anyway. Mel Robbins' 5-second rule is gold here. Count backward 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and move before your brain talks you out of it. Studies show taking action even when scared rewires your brain to see risks as less threatening over time. It's like exposure therapy for your fears. Let's get real for a moment. Fear of failure can feel like a brick wall, especially when you're dreaming big. Maybe you want to start a business, but the thought of it flopping keeps you stuck. Or you want to try a new skill, but what if you're terrible? I hear you. It's okay to feel scared. The goal isn't to banish fear, it's to dance with it. Every time you take a step despite the fear, you're telling your brain, "I've got this." And you do. Here's a funny truth. Failure's not as bad as we make it out to be. Burned dinner? Ordered takeout? Tanked a speech? You'll laugh about it later. Most failures are just moments, not your whole story. And the more you try, the more you realize the world doesn't end when things go wrong. It's like falling off a bike, you get back on maybe with a few bruises, but you're still rolling. Let's wrap this up with a challenge. This week, pick one thing you've been avoiding because you're scared of failing. Maybe it's sending an email, signing up for a class, or even posting that video. Break it into a tiny step. Write 1 sentence, research 1 course, record 1 minute. Do it and celebrate it no matter the outcome. You're not aiming for perfection, you're aiming for progress. And that's what makes you unstoppable. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If this episode sparked something, share it with someone who needs a nudge to take a risk. You're not alone in your fears, and you're stronger than you think. Until next time, keep trying, stay kind to yourself, and maybe don't let fear pick your Netflix shows. Catch you soon.